Well, there's another clip here from Pete Buttigieg, of course, talking to CBS, and here he talks about why there are only seven charging stations so far created with the billions of dollars spent to create charging stations. Check this out.
The Federal Highway Administration says only 7 or 8 charging stations have been produced with a $7.5 billion investment that taxpayers made back in 2021. Why isn't that happening more quickly?
So the president's goal is to have 500,000 chargers up by the end of this decade. Now, in order to do a charger, it's more than just plunking a small device into the ground. There's utility work, and this is also really a new category of federal investment. But we've been working with each of the 50 states. Every one of them is getting formula dollars to do this work, engaging them in the first handful, again, by 2030, 500,000 chargers. And the very first handful of chargers are now already being physically built.
So 400. Yeah. Why didn't you just say, okay, we've done 7 or 8, and we're going to do 500,000 by the end of the decade? So that's when does this pick up?
Yeah.
When exactly does this pick up, and how and when? These 7 or 8 have taken how long? And all of a sudden, we're supposed to think we're going to get 500,000. Going back to the first part. What do we need all these charging stations for when no one wants to buy the cars and the car companies are getting their ass handed to them and making them?
In Iowa, in 20 degrees, you lose 20% power. And if you turn the heat on, you lose 40% of your mileage at 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, and depending on the speed, depends on how quickly you go through that quote-unquote charge. So you might not be getting the 260 or 270 miles per charge that you think you're getting. So just a little interesting. I guess when you look at the money that's being wasted on something that people didn't ask for, people didn't want. It's like it's a fun little thing. You can get them for run around town here and there, but unless you have the infrastructure and the demand in the market. See, this is what Marxism is, right? It's the government taking control of a segment of corporate America, saying, okay, we're going to force this upon you. You're going to love this. Meanwhile, there's no demand for it. It's like trying to force somebody to buy David Zier's ties. Maybe David Zier doesn't make good ties, but it doesn't matter because we're going to force you to buy David Zier's ties. Nobody else's ties are going to be sold.
Well, it's like cafe standards, right? It's like look what they've done to the car industry already. Look what all of these departments, as I've argued for years, whatever their name is actually the anti-whatever. The Department of Education has zero to do with their anti-education. The Department of Transportation is anti-transportation. The EPA is against the environment. Everything is the opposite of what the name of the outfit over there that they're running says. That's true across the board.
Yeah.
The people didn't elect any of these people. They don't want any of these people. They don't want any of these things. They do nothing but, like you said, it's just all Marxism dressed up as somehow pan the today so we can sell you the future. It's just a joke.